Good morning. It's 5:57 a.m. December 23rd, I hope. 5:57 a.m. December 23rd. I uh I slept all right last night, but I was waking up 3 or 4 times in the night, anticipating getting up this morning. I wanted to try to, find a time to get up in the morning that I think is going to work for me to do everything I need to do, and it keeps getting earlier and earlier. Right now, it looks like it's going to be 5 a.m. to get the day started. Essentially, I've got some things I've got to figure out, and I need to figure them out as quickly as possible. Think Thinking a lot about time. It's my little symbol of time that I keep in the studio. And a new kind of revelation that seems to be getting the most out of my time is doing things at the same time, simultaneously, so to speak. Um, Big problem for me in the past is getting bogged down in details and then never getting started on anything, and so be it. But that was then, and this is now. And I'm going to try to control time. I'm going to try to get well with time. I'm going to try to have a relationship with time that is real here. I'm going to need to chunk a lot of things too. Put things into these chunks where they're happening at the same time. All right, what do I got to do here? If I'm going to get to this thing of releasing a track every week, there's some shit that's going to have to happen. Number one, I'm going to need to install a daily practice starting today. What does that mean? Well, right there is what that means. Turn this the fuck off. Bear with me for a minute. Distractions end now. I'm going to put this phone into airplane mode. Okay. All right. First order of the day out of bed is distractions gone. That means Facebook, that means social media, all of it. I want to make sure that I'm not starting out the day looking at the news. There's nothing that's going to happen in this world that's going to change by my perception of it between the hours of 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning when I need to be as clear as I can possibly be. Try to focus on anything, and trust me, mass media will find a way to get you derailed in 30 seconds or less. It's their job. So that's out. Okay, good. That happened for a reason. All right, moving on. Daily practice. See how long it took to get right back on track because of that distraction? That can't happen. That is an example of 3 to 5 minutes every time it happens. If it happens 10 times a day, that's 60 minutes down the drain. And that is, trying to understand my relationship with time, not trying to control time via a planner. What did I do with those last 30 seconds? I'm just trying to amplify a relationship with time, a healthy one that is going to perhaps put me on the road of finishing a track every week. And as far as the daily practice is concerned, I need to calibrate my machine, the automatic music machine. I need to look at tracks which are showcasing that they are the closest to being done. Excuse me, released. Just waking up here. And go backwards from there. I mean, right down to the closest backwards, and see where those are. Fortunately, the approach of the AMM is to not have to worry about things like inspiration, what I'm feeling like I want to do. You know, it's funny when you're not finishing tracks, you always want to work on the thing that's the furthest away from being done. Oh, suddenly I'm interested in working on that track I wrote 5 years ago that only has one note in it. When you have a piece of music that's like literally 15 seconds of mixing and mastering away from being done. And speaking of mixing and mastering, so I have a track lined up that I know is pretty much ready to go, but it needs to be mastered. Okay? I want it to be mastered because I have a new series of techniques that I'm doing. There's two things I need to do today. One is I need to install Izotope, the Izotope protocol that I've built into my chain on my master template. I know some people don't like the term master template. All it means to me, it doesn't mean Yoda master. It just means the one I'm using that is designed to better my relationship with time. That's all. My savior template, my happy template, my template. All right. Also, I want to get this installed. This is Sonarworks. And basically, this microphone is going to read the footprint of the room and tell me what's happening in here sonically on a profile to enable me to get a very real reaction of how music is reacting inside of this space and then offset that with a dose of reality. Long story short, if you've ever mixed a piece of music and it sounds great in your headphones, or it sounds like great when you're in a room, whatever else, and it sounds like shit in a car, or you take it over a friend's house and say, check out my track, and you think, man, that sounds nasty, that bass is overwhelming, or whatever else. Usually the actual cause of the problem there is a relationship between what's happening with music in the room where you're producing it. This kind of levels that playing field. Okay. All right, so install the practice, and I got to get sessions in today after I install the practice. So I'm going to install the practice first, start the sessions. When I think about the practice, there's a couple of different routes I'm going here, and one is shorter sessions versus longer sessions. Both of them, I think, are going to amount to the same amount of work. It's just two different pathways. One is moving around from project to project faster. The other is staying in a certain project longer. And it's an experiment for me to see which one of these is going to yield finished tracks faster. My guess is it's probably going to be a little bit of both. I don't like to set up rules where I have to do short sessions or I have to do long sessions. To feel like I have a little bit of flexibility to maneuver might make me feel less confined and a little more, I don't know, productive, I guess is the right word, maybe. I've got a coaching session coming up with Mike in a week, and I want to try to dig into this as hard as I can and get this up and running full tilt as quickly as possible. Wish me luck.